Hey folks, we are back. I'm your host BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You know, I'm doing a series on rural America. I think rural America is going to decide this election. I really is a strong belief. I have a guest on the phone now, but before I introduce her, and you're used to hearing from her, she's a regular guest. I have a guest from Michigan that will be on, upstate Michigan as they call it, will be on at 9 o'clock. And then I have a guest from Wisconsin at 9:30. So we're going around. We're not going to the big names on the list. I know some of you tune in some shows and Newt Gingrich is on there, and I love Newton here and all that. But we're going to the people. I have now with me Lee Snover. Sorry to hold you, Lee, from Pennsylvania. Lee, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for our Pennsylvania update. You posted something on Facebook I read last night. Where did you get all that information? What are some of your concerns this morning as we go into this last week with all this breaking news?
Well, I mean, I've just been reading the same news information that everybody else has. And, you know, in the Northeast here, we get a lot of New York news. And, you know, word has it the New York police are really the ones pressuring Comey. And the New York police have a lot of information, and they're the ones insisting Comey reopen this. I mean, that's what we're hearing in the Northeast, is it's the NYPD.
NYPD, why do you... Now, is the NYPD the one that pulled Weiner's computer? I mean, tell me why you're hearing NYPD did this.
Well, that's because they started the criminal investigation against Anthony Weiner for underage sexting to a possibly alleged 14-year-old girl. And so the NYPD are the ones who have been seizing his laptop. And apparently in the Northeast, we're getting this kind of news up here that they're the ones that found emails from the Department of State, and they insist that the FBI take a look at it. So it's kind of, we're hearing up here that the NYPD said, you do it or we'll leak it. That if they don't reopen it and take it on, the NYPD was going to leak it.
Okay, that is great information because we're not hearing the NYPD through this investigation. But what we did hear is the FBI basically was told, you got a choice. Take this to the people or this is going to come out. Is that what you're hearing?
Right, and that's what we're hearing. Somehow the NYPD was going to leak it if they didn't pursue it.
Now, what do you think is the most damaging things on there? We don't know yet. I'm reading a lot of leaks. I mean, I'm calling them, I'm very concerned about giving our viewers and listeners bad information, so I always want to be cautious, but there's 650,000 emails, and it's just like even, you know, I don't particularly agree with Joe Scarborough, but at 6 a.m. he said, look, if you don't believe the FBI seen something here, come down to 30 Rock and I'll take you to ride the multicolored unicorn. I mean, there's got to be something in here, Lee.
Right. Now, I'm giving you my opinion only. This is not fact-based, just my opinion. I think Uma Abedin is involved with the Russians. She possibly could be a Russian spy. I think it's Russia. And I think all the Clintons have been telling you the Republicans or Donald Trump's involved with Russia. I think they were preempting, and that was a smokescreen that they're involved with Russia. That's just my opinion. And totally opinion is I think there's going to be something on there about Uma Abedin being involved with Russia. Wow,
that's pretty good. I mean, I know it's just your opinion, but that was pretty good. I liked it. You articulated it well. You know what? It's funny. I said this morning, you know, they're talking about Russia this, and, you know, Harry Reid, the lowest life there is that breathes and he slithers along the Senate floor. Thank God he's going back home. But anyhow, Harry Reid says, oh, the feds are sitting on some damaging Trump information about Russia. Every time the Democrats come out with something about Trump, truthfully, it's them that they're diverting the attention away. So like the Russia thing is, to me, look at Podesta. I mean, Hillary sold the uranium to the Russians. Podesta has business dealings we see through WikiLeaks with Russia. So you're thinking that in these 650, their connection with Russia is going to come out a little bigger than we thought?
Right, and I think that's the whole reason they've been pushing that Trump's involved with Russia, So when it comes out, it won't be as, strong or prevalent. But that's why they've been doing that. I think they have ties to Russia, and I think it's there.
Okay, what about how are things in Pennsylvania? The polls were closing last week, so they were closing last week before this came out. So I'm interested on what really this turn will take. I talked to Jerry Saturday, and Jerry said, the other side is working overtime. They're working 24/7 to find something now on Donald. But,
right, and you know what? I want everybody to batten down their hatchets and put on the seatbelt. I'm sure there'll be a Donald sex tape in the next 3 days. I mean,
Donald gone wild.
Yeah, you're going to have something. So just it's going to happen. But here's what you're not going to have: government corruption, because there's not any with Donald Trump. And that's what the American people need to remember, okay? What they can't find on Donald Trump is any government corruption. And, we need to think about this. Why are Democrats not jumping off here? Oh, my God, if Donald Trump says one word wrong, Republicans are pulling their endorsement. Democrats should be leaving Hillary Clinton. We could be going into a constitutional crisis. She could become president. We could be investigating her the entire time she's there. I mean, why are Democrats not pulling their support? They need to pull their support today. I want to see top Democrats say, I cannot support her. There's too many links to corruption. She's investigated from the FBI. I cannot support her. Where is that?
All of these
kind of ethical Democrats to do that.
All of these Republicans that condemn Trump for what he said, and we don't want to go back there, but all of them that jumped out, they're only lucky that there was no cell phones with selfies and Facebook, 30 years ago when they were 18 years old in college, where we'd be releasing tapes 7 days a week on these holy Republicans that can't back Trump. You're 100% right. I mean, where is the media with asking how many, Republicans need to disavow themselves now? Democrats need to disavow themselves now. Where's the media with that? And the down ballot tickets. The corruption is, I think they have something big. My concern is the country is my first concern, the country. United States of America, we do not need to go into a presidency that is under investigation for all 4 years. Because if the Republicans retain the House, which they will be investigations. And
right.
And we're going to be tied up for 4 years. And, I'm not shocked that Comey doesn't come out and say, hey, this is the right thing to do. And Hillary may get arrested, may get pardoned. She may be the first president in history that gets pardoned before she takes office. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is what is wrong for our country. And that's why I'm calling on ethical Democrats to, denounce her and to stand up against this. We do not want a president-elect who is under investigation for several things: lying, obstruction of justice, the Clinton Foundation. Pay to play. We need to stand up to this. The Democrats need to stop thinking about winning only and think about the country. Is it that bad if a Republican gets in government for 8 years or 4 years? Come on, for the sake of this country, we need to elect Donald Trump. Even Democrats need to get on board.
No, they're running the stay out of jail free card. Because let me tell you something, right from Obama, we find out the Department of Justice and the Obama administration were putting orders for the FBI to stand down on their Clinton Foundation investigation. So this is, I really think they're running for fear because they will be a list of them arrested. I do think so.
Right, but here's the thing. We haven't won yet, and it's still an uphill battle, and Trump still has a lot of work to do in these 8 days, and so do his supporters. We still are, I know, I am hopeful we're going to win Pennsylvania, but I still know we're a couple points down here, and we have to keep working, keep moving. We can't depend on this news because lockstep people, for Hillary are going to come out and vote for her no matter what the news is. It wouldn't matter what the media produced in the next 8 days. But we need to be working, and Donald Trump is working. He's coming here tomorrow. He's coming to King of Prussia. It's down by Philadelphia.
He is, because I don't have him on the schedule. I'm looking at his schedule. Is something he
It's
changed?
for women only. It's it's going to be a small private venue. When I say small, it's probably going to be 500 women there, but that's small for Donald Trump. It's a women only event. It's in King of Prussia, and he's coming down and doing a policy speech, a more private, small venue with the women only outside of Philadelphia.
Well,
they're still coming here.
What do you think about him going to Colorado, going to New Mexico last night? It was enormous. And 2 stops in Grand Rapids, Michigan today, and 1 in Wisconsin tomorrow. What do you think about his campaign strategy?
Well, I'm putting my faith in Kellyanne Conway. She's a pollster first. Don't forget it. So they're internal polling all the time.
Right.
So when you see him going somewhere, she knows what she's doing. That's where my confidence is. A couple of my concerns are North Carolina and Utah. I am concerned about North Carolina. I'm not sure why we're not winning there or why we're not higher in the polls there. I don't know the dynamic of the state anymore, but I'm very concerned about that. I mean, I almost feel there's more energy for Trump in Pennsylvania than there is in North Carolina. And I think that is because of blue-collar manufacturing jobs have been taken from Pennsylvania, and we know it, and we know he can bring it back. I'm not sure what the issue is in North Carolina, where he is not rising in the polls like I think he should. So, and I'm concerned about the Mormons in Utah. They have set out to destroy him by keeping him from getting Utah. That has been the never Trump plan all along. If they can just take Utah from him, they could throw this whole thing to her. So I'm concerned about those 2 states.
Well, I'm a little concerned, and I don't want to go down the religious route right now, but I'm a little concerned with the Mormons' freedom to, they have been attacked with their freedom to worship throughout the history of this country with some things that, they should be more concerned with their freedom of worship, or as concerned as all religious groups. They should be. And Hillary Clinton is definitely, and I don't want to go down that road, definitely not going to be interested in their freedom to worship. So I don't know.
Right, but the Sunday news shows were parading this gentleman who's
yes, I call him Evan McMuffin.
Instead of talking about Hillary and the FBI investigation, they're trying to, cover it up or, use a distraction by having this person running out from Utah. So, I'm concerned about that, and I'm concerned about North Carolina. Like I said, Trump's coming to Pennsylvania tomorrow, and Melania is coming right after that. Melania is coming this week as well. It's a different campaign stop. It's later in the week. Again, the ring counties of Philadelphia, they are working outside of Philadelphia. King of Prussia is right outside of Philadelphia, and that's where Melania is coming, and that's where all the Trumps are spending all their time because they have rural PA. They've got rural PA. They have to break the numbers in Philadelphia area. They just have to, change the numbers, not win there. They're not going to win there. They just have to, break in and take some of those numbers.
Well, let me ask you a question. So you're saying that you're putting your faith and support behind Kellyanne Conway, saying she is a pollster and she's done internals, and they're seeing something that's leading them to go hit these states.
That's all I can believe. I mean, she's a pollster first. That's what she does. That she's a pollster first, and I've heard her say that. So they must have internal polling that's directing them where they're going, and that's what I think. But you know what? No one's even talking about the how great Mike Pence is doing. He is pulling thousands of people himself at these rallies, and Kane is not. Kane was here like Muhlenberg College. I think they said they had 30 or 40 people. I mean, it was like a bomb. Pence was in Bensalem Friday night. They had 2,000 people.
Pence is doing better than Clinton. Pence is drawing more at his rallies than Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton and what's her name had 900 or whatever the other night. I mean, she can't pull anybody at a rally.
What's being reported is how well Pence is doing. Last night I was trying to go on and research Romney's schedule at the end of his campaign because they keep telling us large rallies do not equal votes, okay? They keep trying to tell us this doesn't mean anything. I had a hard time finding that schedule, but I'm interested to know, here's one thing they're not telling you. Donald Trump's doing these rallies all day long. He's not doing one. Okay, he's not going to Colorado today and doing a rally. He's going Colorado, New Mexico, Michigan, Pennsylvania, all in like a day. I mean, you know, he was in, I guess, New Mexico last night at 8 p.m. And they had thousands of people and people online. It was up to 106,000.
106,000. That was just on one feed. On one feed.
Right. So here's what I mean. They keep telling me, or they keep trying to tell me, oh, Romney had the same crowd.
No.
I've got one more story for you. Now, listen. I was in the Republican headquarters Saturday. A lady came in and she asked for 16 signs. I'm like, okay. She goes, well, I've got 16 properties, and I'm going to get all these out. And so then she went on to tell me, I'm a liberal Democrat, she says to me. I'm left-wing. I've died in the wool Democrat. She says, my family celebrates when someone becomes 18 and we register them Democrat. She goes, I've worked for every Democrat presidential nominee until this time. She goes, and my whole family's for Donald Trump. Now, I have never had that. I didn't have that when McCain and Romney ran. Nobody ever came into the headquarters and told me they were a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat and their whole family was for Donald Trump. So, you know, I mean, these stories are, I mean, I don't know what to think of it. And then they tell us we're losing. So I don't know what to think.
Well, I will tell you this. See, that is why, and I know you're in the Lehigh Valley and this was a liberal person that came in, but that is why I think rural America can do this. Now, I do know that these massive cities, these cities are massive with votes. I'm going to share.
Right.
I'm going to share something with you. I talked to a lady that is the clerk in a county in Wisconsin, and she said to me, she said, "Well, we consider there's two states here. There's the state of Milwaukee, and then there's the state of Wisconsin. That's the way they look at it. They don't even consider Milwaukee, Wisconsin," she said. Okay.
It's the same thing here. It's Philly, Pittsburgh, and Alabama in the middle.
Right. And then I called the lady in Michigan. This is upstate Michigan, small county, right? And the first thing I said is, hey, I'm trying to contact people in rural counties, and I'm not calling or, you know, like the media like Detroit. And the lady was so serious with me, I had to think twice, Lee. She said, I said, Detroit. She said, Detroit's not in Michigan. And I had to think. She almost had me believing that they had moved it out. I swear to God.
Right,
and then I said to her,
right.
I said, and then she started laughing because she knew she had me. They don't see that. So I guess I could be so off the mark, Lee, but I'm thinking that rural America can do this because they're going to say, see, you're not seeing it.
Well, that's what it's going to take. We have to beat the cities this time. They're working hard here. I have to tell you, they pay people here. There's flyers. There's flyers all over the community college. Get paid to work for Hillary Clinton. Get paid to work for Hillary Clinton. We don't pay anyone, okay? Republicans in Pennsylvania, I mean, outside of their actual office staff, they don't pay anyone. Everyone is a volunteer. They pay people, and they are working. I mean, they finally this weekend got a bunch of Clinton signs out in our area. They finally have surfaced. But we're all volunteer, and everyone's working so hard.
All right, well, how do they claim that they have so many volunteers? Because they don't. They pay them. How do they pay them and call them volunteers? Because you and I know when they...
Yeah, they pay them. They pay them. And
right.
They actually get them on Craigslist. When you go to the polls in Pennsylvania on Election Day, the workers for the Democrats are like, oh, no, I just saw this ad on Craigslist. I'm getting $20 an hour. I mean, you know what I mean? That's what we find when we go to the polls on Election Day. They pay their people. We have people, you know, missing work and taking off to do this. And that's the difference right there.
And folks, you can give people up to $600 and not have to report it. You could pay somebody up to $600 and not have to report it, and just give them cash. You know, the government says you can do that. So if they pay these volunteers $100 to go sit and hand out leaflets, then they haven't violated anything, and they don't even have to say they did it.
I'm hopeful we can win, but they're working hard. We're working hard. It's a dogfight in PA. It really, really is. And I just don't know what's going to happen. But like I told you, more and more I have Democrats telling me they're supporting them, and I just kind of look at them because I don't know. Like, I'm thinking, why is the media telling me something else?
A guy in Southern Illinois, an older guy in Southern Illinois, an old farmer in Illinois, you know what it is. He said he had never voted Republican. He'd always been a Democrat, always had planned to be a Democrat, but he was voting for Donald Trump, and every one of his friends were voting for Donald Trump. And Lee, I hear that. Let me give you one thing to leave with, some encouragement that I think. First of all, I do not think anybody is rushing to the polls to vote for Hillary Clinton. I don't think so. I really don't. So, and I'm going to give you an example. I know we're in Georgia, but the media has tried to tell you that Georgia's neck and neck. Okay.
Yes, I will
Okay.
tell you. My friend from NPR, National Public Radio, has called me and told me all around Atlanta it's huge for Clinton right now, and it could throw the state.
No, it can't throw the state because here's the thing. Okay. Yeah. Your friend from NPR, right?
Right.
All right. No, it's not true. Because first of all, we are setting early voting records. Now, I'm going to just say to you, the rural counties in the state are setting records they've never seen this before in the rural counties. Lee, people are not enthusiastic to go vote early for Clinton. They're just not. They're not excited. If you hear excitement, even in Pennsylvania, no matter where you're at, if you're hearing excitement, it's for the Donald Trump campaign. That's where you're hearing the excitement. Those are the people that can't wait to get the opportunity to go vote for Donald Trump. Do not believe the early voting is an enormous Hillary Clinton support.
Right. Pennsylvania does not have early voting.
Right.
I'm very proud of that, and I hope we never do.
Well, what happened this past Friday is exactly why I don't believe in early voting, is because you shouldn't vote early. Anything can happen. Lee, anything else? I've got a 9 o'clock in Michigan. Do you think the rural strategy could work?
It has to work, and I really believe that's where it's at because, like I said, I still think the cities are so strong for her. But you might be right. This might suppress turnout. It could, and I'm hoping that's what it does. This doesn't win it for us. We have to keep working. We still have to win it on the ground. We still have to win it in the grassroots. We still have to win it in turnout. I mean, we got this thing we're doing different than we've ever done here. It's called knock and drag on Election Day. Yeah, we're going to have poll greeters, but at the same time, we're putting a lot more emphasis on doors. We're going to be running door to door, have people driving, jumping out, knocking on Republicans' doors and making sure they face-to-face they voted. And if they haven't voted, we're asking them to get in the car. I mean, that's what we're doing, and the Democrats usually do that, but we're doing it this time.
Well, good for you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to get Jerry on around 10. Get his take of the FBI. He'll have an interesting take. So before we leave,
you heard mine. I think that's Russia, and I think they're with Russia, not us.
And
not Trump. And I think that's why they've used so much Trump-Russia stuff is to deflect from them being in with Russia.
So you also think it was the NYPD?
Yes, I do. The NYPD told Comey, you do it or we do it. Now, you got to remember, this is a New York Police Department. Donald Trump is from New York. He's done nothing but defend the police. I mean, they said to Comey, you do it or we leak it. That's what you're hearing in the Northeast.
You think they? Do you think they've actually? Do you think they actually seen something? That's my belief.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think that's where her 33,000 emails are.
Oh, the 33,000. I got to go on that. I got to get to my callers that are waiting. Thank you for that update from Pennsylvania. That is Lee Snover. Lee Snover is a volunteer director working as a volunteer director in the Donald Trump campaign, the chairman of the Northampton County Republican Party in Pennsylvania, NYPD. You do it or we'll do it. I got to take a break. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Going to try to get my guest on here right now that I got coming up. So take a break. We'll try to get our next caller on the line from Michigan. Larry.